I love being lost in the music of just having that passion for something.
When I went out to a club when I was way underage to watch my mate DJ, and then like stayed there until it shut because I enjoyed the music so much.
Just playing good music, like new music to people, that's the most rewarding thing.
You sort of control the night, you can make people dance and make people have a good night.
When you have that connection with people, then I think that for me is why I started doing this.
Literally, after I finish you, I've got an hour to get myself ready at 3 p.m. if I finish you at 3. To get myself ready for the entire night.
How did you first get into DJing?
It was to prove a man wrong, to be honest. I bought some decks when I was about 18 and didn't really do anything about it. They were just at home, and then someone told me that I was never going to do anything with my life and all this and that. I thought, I'll show him, I'll be a DJ, and I just sat and just focused, and that was it. I'm a mum to a little boy who's 7, and he's my world. I also work for an electrical contractors, half part-time as an office manager, and I run a hair extensions business as well. So I'm a busy bunny. This week, for instance, I've had customers all week, I've been in the office all week, and when Thursday night I was a judge for a DJ competition. Last night I was DJing till about 3 a.m. I don't plan my sets for that reason, in the fact that you don't know what people want, you don't know what people are going to hear, and also, to be honest, I don't know what I'm going to want to play either. You get somewhere and you just think, oh yeah, this will really work here, so you'll play, you know. And I mean, a lot of when you first start out DJing, I used to be in my bedroom, putting all my vinyl in order and writing a little list and getting all really stressed out, thinking, oh my God, does that go into that? Does that go into that? But I think it just comes with experience.
How did I get into DJing? I think the first time I thought dance music was better than the other stuff that I'd been into, I think was when I went out to a club when I was way underage to watch my mate DJ, and then like stayed there until it shut because I enjoyed the music so much. I bought my first set of turntables at about, I think, 18, maybe 19, yeah. But that was a long time after I'd sort of been decided that dance music was better than like the other stuff that I was listening to before. In the daytime I work in a shop, but I like fitting car radios, but obviously that's not the main priority in life at the moment, although I do sort of enjoy it as long as I don't have to like do things in the shop very much. So if I can be outside playing around with cars, then that's cool.
First going to DJing when I was about 16 or 17. Before that we used to go to house parties, and I was always the one that used to bring the music to the parties. Before I started DJing, I was at college, at school, used to work at Tesco's on the checkouts. My daytime job's quite boring compared to DJing. I do technical support at a software company, which is good because I get to travel with it, but I'd rather be DJing full time. It's great satisfaction. I love the music, so to be able to play it out in a club is always good for me.
I've always been into house music. I was looking back at a CD collection from when I used to buy the singles and everything else when I was younger, and they're all got a house element to them, so I've obviously that's all I've ever loved.
The first new club night that I went to was a sort of underground house night in Leicester. It must be 7-8 years ago now, maybe even longer. And and I kind of got into that underground house sound. You can always sort of tell between that and sort of more commercial stuff, just the sound of it is they use different noises, different vibes.
Have you got any embarrassing, funny stories about when you first started out?
I'd been practising at home on belt drive, which are horrifically difficult to use. Then when I turned up to the gig, not knowing what I was doing at all, there were a completely different style of decks and everything, and I just panicked and I was awful. So I don't know why that didn't put me off, to be honest, DJing in the first place.
I mixed a song in, and then because my mate was playing on his laptop, which was next to the CDJs, I just pressed eject on the same CD, so there was just silence for a couple of seconds. Yeah, it was embarrassing.
The thing that does happen to me, which used to be quite funny or a bit annoying as well, was I don't know if you know, there's a footballer, Stephen Ireland, who was playing at Aston Villa, and everyone says I look like him, so I used to go out and used to get people wanting to have the photos with him. And at first I used to say, no, it's not me, I'm someone else. Then it just got annoying, so I just have photos with people and pretend I was him. So.
My best friend was collecting records and he had some decks, and we just sort of went round there one day and sort of just did a mix, and yeah, I just sort of caught the bug, I suppose. That's basically why I wanted to do it. DBE is electronic music night that started 6 years ago. It started off predominantly through the dubstep sort of boom, and was just put together with a friend of mine called Sean, who he sort of had we sort of came up with the idea, but it probably leaned more towards him. And he was a student at the time, and there wasn't really anywhere for any kind of music apart from sort of your standard commercial. So yeah, we just started a night, and that was it really. It started off very small and just gradually got bigger. Day to day, my roles are a lot of social media, booking DJs, listening to music, having fun. That's my day really. I do enjoy my job. I think it's amazing. I'm lucky to be doing it. On the day of an event, I would wake up pretty early, make sure that the union, well, the venue wherever we are, is sort of on the road to being set up, and just sort of gathering. A lot of it is gathering sort of reps, money, and like tickets. Pretty boring, really. That sort of aspect of it.
I've been involved with DBE probably 3 or 4 years. At first it was just sort of DJing, helping to promote the parties a little bit, but not as sort of the kind of stuff that I do now. Whereas I think now it's kind of like I'm sort of second in command, so I get left with sort of bigger responsibilities like collecting tickets, money, doing promotional stuff online, like doing the social media.
How did you get into DJing?
Okay, I was 17, worked in a designer clothes shop at the time. I had one of my mixtapes on, and the promoter at the time, who was real big in Birmingham, he put on some of the best nights. His name was Rue, he still does them now. Rue came into the shop, asked me what the tape was that was playing. He said, "Do you want to play on Saturday?" I'll do 5 days in the week, so I'll do Monday to Friday day, whether I'm working from home at the Rainbow offices or out and about on the road seeing agents and things like that. And then on a Thursday night I do a midweek party in Solihull at the Lazy Cow, and then every Saturday I'm out. I try and book a Saturday off if I can, and we try and evenly share it between my business partners, but the majority of the time, and especially for the big shows, you have to be here. The Rainbow Pub, part of the complex. There's a total of 7 different areas to the Rainbow. This is the actual pub, so this is where it was originally formed. It would just be like a boozer where people would come and drink before we took it over. So it doesn't look the best in the daytime, but this is the courtyard space. And this is a key part of the Rainbow where it all began. 231 was born in the Rainbow Garden. We launched the brand in November. It was November the 18th, about 3 years ago now. And the whole brand was built on the time to get there. So it was 231. There'd be 450 people coming through the door in 1 hour. And I said to my business partner, Tom Short, I said, look, we've got something here. Let's develop it and go bigger. That's where we came up with the 1031 brand. The capacity is bigger, the artists are bigger.
How has house changed since you first began DJing?
I think it changes every year. There's different sounds, there's different musics, different trends, different fashions as well.
You used to organise your week around that night, around that event to go to, and the atmosphere, everything's just changed a little bit for the better in a lot of ways. You know, I'm not saying in the good old days and all this and that, but it was a little bit more exclusive to be a DJ. It was a bit more exclusive to be an event promoter, to run events. Whereas now it's kind of, there's so many, because it's so accessible, music is now. So it's changed massively in that respect.
When things have come full circle, there's like techno, tech house, and they've all branched off into their different genres, and it's no longer, house music is an umbrella term, if you like, for all the different genres. Producing music, if you're a DJ, is a key element, especially in this, in 2015, you've got to be doing it.
So this is the studio. I've got the KRK monitor speakers, which are really good. They're quite flat, so good for monitoring and producing. Then I've got Native Instruments sound card. So this sends the sound from the laptop and from the software to the speakers. I've also got an Akai drum machine and mini keyboard, so it's good for programming drum beats and drum loops. And then I'm using Ableton, so the software for actually making the music is Ableton.
I love producing. That's just obviously as a learning process, and I haven't been doing it that long. So, but to get a bigger label interested in my stuff would be amazing. So hopefully that'll come in the future with more work.
Kick drum, then you can put in clap. So you start getting the loop going.
Before, when I started, you could just be a good DJ and get a lot of work and make a name for yourself and do well off it.
You're going to start playing the keyboard and putting in, say, your bass line. You can see how easy it is just to get one loop going. That's just a 1 bar loop.
So how long does it take to produce a track?
It depends. I mean, something like this, you can get something done in a couple of hours or so. It can be quite easy, but then the problem I find is that you get too, I don't know what the word is, you get too conscious of it, so you kind of spend too much time for trying to perfect everything.
I've still got probably about 10 or 15 projects sat on my computer that I started and thought this is really good, and then it doesn't really go anywhere after that, and you listen to it and you don't know what to add. So that's frustrating at times, but then you just got to start something new.
What being a producer is it gives you that platform, so people can look on Beatport, iTunes, things like that for your music, and you're appealing to a wider audience. So for me, it's a key part of being a DJ.
So now, that's your decision.
Going to work the morning after a gig is definitely the worst thing about being a DJ. If you've been up until like 5 in the morning, you've got to go to work at 9 and you just have to deal with it.
There's not many downsides to being a DJ. I think I've damaged my ears a bit, and I've had to get some like custom-made earplugs for my ears.
I do struggle with that though, tinnitus.
Do you?
Yeah, I can't hear anything on a Sunday, and then when I'm lying in bed at night, and like any night, it's am I pulling your hair? Sorry.
Yeah.
All I can hear is ringing. You can get plugs. Dave Thatcher's got them, like plugs for in your ears, and it cleans the sound so it doesn't damage your eardrums. And so I went to the doctor and I was like, they were about £250. And I was like, oh, I think I need some of these, hoping that I might get some from him. And he just basically said, you don't listen to it. He said, think of something else. He said, people have killed themselves before from listening to it. I'm like, whoa, Dr.
Listening
Bloom,
to what?
like, Christ almighty.
Listening to the ringing in your
Cheers,
ear?
Doc. Yeah, they said people have gone crazy, and I'm like, oh my God. I'll come out of there just like shell-shocked. I was like, no way. If it's really bad, you just have radio on or something, just something, if there's another noise in the background. If I put the heating on, I can't hear it either. So it's not all glamour being a DJ.
Right, so it's about 3 in the morning. Just going to go to If After Party at Bushwhackers. Set time is 4 o'clock till 5:30. Just get there a little bit early and just check out the vibe.
Hi, I'm Jake Twell. I'm here playing at Echoes for the launch night of LE12, supporting Mort. We're here every week, I guess. It's probably the dirtiest club in Loughborough, but I love it still. Well, maybe.
How do you feel before you go on for a set?
Yeah, usually even a couple hours before, I get nervous. So I try and take my mind off things, get all my music ready, listen to what sort of stuff I'm going to play. Usually watch a bit of TV, maybe a couple of drinks, I don't know, and then usually when I'm actually playing, I'm fine. As soon as I do the first mix, that's it. I'm okay.
Probably a little bit nervous, but then that sort of soon goes away as long as the first mix is all right. If you don't do well on the first mix, then that usually just puts me in a bad mood. But you just go and do it, play your set. Also depends on how many beers you've had.
You just get caught up in a little bubble. You're in your own bubble and you just focus.
You're just ecstatic. If you come off and it's been a good gig, then they're all the reasons that you do it for.
Where's your favourite place to do a set?
DBE, of course. DBE is probably my favourite place to play. I've played in some amazing places. Like I say, I'm privileged to play where I do, off the back of DBE. But yeah, DBE. I sort of do the last hour really at DBE just because I know people and I can. If I need to throw in like a guilty pleasure, like I'm not scared to do that. And that's sort of just a fun moment, really, a fun hour.
My favourite place to do a set, that if I could do it regularly, sort of week in, week out, would be in Croatia. Just like the sea, the sun, and good music. If I could play anywhere weekly, that would be it. But yeah, DB is always a really good vibe.
There's nothing like going into a town or a city that you've never played at before. You don't know what to expect, and you get in there, and you know, for me, the sound system is key to any gig, and that's why I believe that the Rainbow excel in their area. In the past year, my career has changed. With the DJing side of things, I would say I've been taking on less gigs. Now I pick the gigs individually that I do, so I find myself doing less gigs, but they're all ones that I'll enjoy. There's very rarely I do a gig now that I don't like.
I suppose in the last 18 months it has changed quite a bit because it's just been totally focused on the night and having a proper end goal. It's become more of a job in a good way, earning money, paying bills type thing.
What's been your biggest highlight of your career in DJing so far?
I think it's got to be playing at Hideout. That was really good fun. The boat parties are wicked out there. We did also a pre-party like one of the first years. Like even though it was like 2 days before the festival, everyone was still getting mental.
Things that I've been proud of for DJing, mainly how long I've done it for and done it consistently, as well as having a child, and stayed current throughout the 14 years as well.
So my dream goal in DJing would be to have a tune or track released on a good label, a credible label. So yeah, more on the production side than probably the DJing side. Obviously there's places you'd probably want to, or I'd like to play, so maybe somewhere like DC10 or Circle Oka, that would be a dream.
My dream goal would be to, with the brands that I'm operating, it would be to tour the Portal music. I'd love to take to Ibiza and do a show at Amnesia out there, just hosting a room. With the 231 and 1031 thing, we just want to expand that nationally.
I'd like to be extremely successful, and I'd like, more so than anything, I want my son to be interested in it and do it and be proud when he understands it a bit more, and not think, oh God, my mum's so uncool when she's, when he's older. I want him to go, yeah, my mum was a DJ, or I'd love that.
My dream goal as a DJ would be to do it full time, or maybe to like run a night like Past does. If I could do all this and then maybe more without having the need to go to work in between, then that'd be a bonus.
If you can make a living off being a DJ, I think that's it right there. You're an extremely lucky person.
Would you ever think about giving up hairdressing to do it as a full-time career, DJ?
To be honest, I think I probably could, but there's that. I do look. This is another passion, hair is of mine, and I love it. And
I wouldn't be able to get my hair done.
Yeah. Don't talk me into stopping. And I would, but again, it falls back onto Milo.
My favourite thing about being a DJ is just playing to a dark club full of people and playing music that I want to hear and people still enjoying it.
Just making people have a good time, that's the best thing about being a DJ.
I love obviously performing for a crowd, and I just like to see reactions of a crowd. If you've made them happy and they're absolutely buzzing and loving it, wicked. It's great fun.
I don't see it as a job. Just playing good music, like new music to people, that's probably the most rewarding thing.
My favourite thing about being a DJ has got to be you've got the opportunity there to get up on a stage or behind a DJ booth and play the music that you love to people that are there to hear that.
It's a feeling that I've never had before, ever, and I love it, absolutely love it.